Hi, it's Steve. Today we're going to show you how to change the crisper frame on your French door refrigerator. It's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a small flat blade screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now to do this repair, we're going to start by opening both doors, and then we're going to remove either the two crisper drawers if it's the upper frame that you're replacing, or the single drawer if it's the lower frame that you're replacing. So we'll set those drawers aside. Next, remove the crisper glass. So reaching up from the bottom, just lift it up and pull it forward. And then carefully remove it and carefully set it aside. Then next we'll lift up on that frame, pull it forward, take it completely out of the refrigerator. We can then close the doors back up, and we'll set this on a suitable work surface where we can change out the centerpiece, the trim across the front, and the slide controls. Now with our crisper frame on a suitable work surface, we'll disassemble the pieces that will be required to install on the new one. We'll start by taking out the center divider. So simply spread that frame slightly, lift up in the front of that divider, and pull it away from the back. Set it aside. Now next we'll remove this front trim piece. So take a flat blade screwdriver and just go in from the back, just pry it up enough to pop it free without putting any pressure on it, because we don't want to distort the shape of it. Once you've lifted the back edge up, we'll lay that whole frame upside down. You can roll it forward and slide it off the front. We'll set that aside. Now next, we'll remove the two slide controls. Now using a small flat blade screwdriver. Now to remove these, you'll note that there's a little stop towards the center. We need to lift this edge just out far enough, and then apply a little pressure, force it towards the center, and that will line up these two little notches. That will allow us to lift that out. And also there's a track on the bottom. We need to be able to lift that up enough to clear that. And here you can see that little track in the bottom at the lower edge of that will lay in. Do the same from the opposite side. And remove it. Now next we'll need to remove the U-shaped metal support bar that fits along the front of that crisper frame. Now there's a little tab off on the left-hand side here that we'll need to depress while pushing the metal bar towards the right. Now you may be able to do that with a single screwdriver, just fitting it down into that end. But if it doesn't want to move, take another flat blade, and we'll just go into the end here, and we'll pry up on that metal frame or metal bar, and that will allow us to slide that free. Once it moves about 1/8 of an inch, it should slide right out. We can then dispose of the old frame. Take the new frame, set it flat, face down. We'll start by putting in that metal U-channel, and we'll put it in from the right-hand side, slide it all the way over. If you give it a sharp enough push, it should lock into that little tab on the left side. It should be flush with this edge. And if it doesn't go all the way in, either pull it back and try it again, or give it a tap with a soft plastic-faced hammer. Just make sure it's flush on both sides. We can then put the slide controls back in. Tuck the tab out through the opening closest to the outside. Line up that control with the little slot on the bottom. Make sure it fits firmly into that, and that the little cutouts on that slide match the notches. That will allow us to tilt it forward. Then we can pull it towards the outside edge until the little stop clears towards the center. Do the same on the opposite side, making sure that we have the slide fitted into that little track, and then push it towards the outside to lock it in place. Well, next we'll install that trim across the front. We'll start by hooking the rounded end over the front of the frame. Make sure it's centered properly. And just squeeze it backwards until it locks in place. We can now put the center divider in. You'll note that there is a little tab only on one end, and that will fit into a rectangular slot at the back. So line that up first and just spread that frame just enough to drop that centerpiece in. And we're now ready to put it back in the refrigerator. So to reassemble, we'll just open those doors again. And then we'll fully insert that frame all the way into the opening. Making sure that we engage the back of it with the two hooks along the back wall. When they're properly engaged, the front edge will sit just into a little recess. We'll next take and put our crisper glass in. Carefully fit that glass into the opening on top of the crisper frame. Slide it back until it sits in flush. Lift our crisper drawers up into position. Slide those back. Close up the left-hand door first, then the right, and our repair is complete.